I'm Richard Gage. I'm a 20-year architect, and I'm founder of Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. And I'm here in Buffalo with Marty and Jane and Eric, and I'm delighted to have a stopping point along the path, having just come back from Toronto, where we had our premiere of our new movie, Experts Speak Out for short. It's actually called 9/11 Explosive Evidence, Experts Speak Out. And we have assembled 43 technical and building professionals, including high-rise architects, structural engineers, metallurgists, chemists, physicists. These are they who have signed our petition, but in addition are speaking out. They don't believe the official story of the destruction of these three high-rises on 9/11. In fact, they find fraudulent accounts in them and evidence for the explosive demolition for the Twin Towers that NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, has ignored. So this film pulls together these experts, in addition to family members and psychologists, who provide the grounding of this evidence and put it in context. We have a tremendous loss of life in the Twin Towers. And so they want a new investigation. They're calling for a new investigation, the family members. Psychologists are backing up the effort because it is so difficult to confront this information. It is it implies that we have all been fooled, most of us, myself included, until I heard David Ray Griffin on the radio 5 years ago and made a mission of sorts out of waking people up to the reality about this dark deed. And so this film, we hope, will be a great step forward in an awakening, is really what you need to call it, because it's not just information that people need. It's, aha, well, if that's true, then, and what about, and all of a sudden they realize that things are not as they seem in society. The media has pulled the wool over our eyes and fed us information that's not true. And government officials are not being accountable to incredible misdeeds. So the Toronto hearings are happening also, and in Toronto. And so after we showed this film, which went really very well, and we got some great constructive feedback because it is our pre-release. Many people who were attending the Toronto hearings, which is a 4-day conference bringing together technical professionals and others who have independently researched the broad and narrow aspects of 9/11. I gave a presentation for an hour on the explosive destruction of these three high-rises. And I thought I did an okay job, actually. I'm rarely impressed with myself, but I really put it together nicely. I hope people will find it helpful, because it's compact. Usually when I open my mouth, I'm not able to stop for 2 hours. In this case, I was able to stop in an hour, so that's a feat in and of itself.
And what kinds of people were at this Toronto meeting that were impressive to you?
Many of my heroes were there, all in one tight room, 110 people. No advertising, just a guard at the door wondering who I was, and then finally letting me in, and there's 12 cameras or whatever in there. Very impressive. David Ray Griffin was there and spoke about broader aspects of 9/11. Kevin Ryan was there. He's talking about the NIST's report of 9/11. And he's talking about extreme temperatures in the Twin Towers, the basements and so forth. And Niels Harrit was there, who led the international investigation into these 4 independently collected samples of World Trade Center dust, in which was found high-tech nanothermite composite explosives. And John Cole was there, also a civil engineer and petition signer, in fact, board member with AE 9/11 Truth. He was showing experiments, and experimental method is just key. A scientific method is key about all of these Toronto hearings. What he is trying to explain with his experiments, which is fascinating, is that steel beams don't melt in incredibly hot fires, and yet we have evidence of melted steel, of course, all over the place. Melted iron is what it turns out to be. Anyway, FEMA documents sulfidation, intergranular melting, a hot eutectic mixture. Well, this didn't come from the steel sitting in a pile burning, because John Cole made a huge pile and burned these steel beams after putting them, stuffing them with gypsum board and other materials and aluminum. And the gypsum board did not attack the steel. Of course, gypsum board is used to protect steel. The point being that FEMA had documented the sulfidation. Well, where did the sulfur come from? NIST says it might have come from the gypsum board. Well, apparently not. Experiments show otherwise. So anyway, John Cole was certainly there. Splitting the Sky, an activist leader from Canada, was there, John Boncourt. And James Gorley, who has led a number of efforts for 9/11 Truth, including the International Center for 9/11 Studies, which sponsored these hearings yet another day. So it's extraordinary. I'm looking forward to seeing the whole thing packaged in DVD form. I hope that it will be delivered to the governments of the United States and Canada.